Joining us live once again, Darren Kimura, the CEO and president of AI Squared with headquarters in Mountain View. Darren, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure as always.
Yeah, you keep me up to date. Okay. Talking about keeping up to date, we saw plenty of ads during the Super Bowl which incorporated AI. We know that companies took much different approaches. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, it was kind of the Super Bowl of AI. So you saw on one hand Chris Hemsworth on the Amazon commercial with the paranoia about AI trying to get him, all the way to commercials like the vodka commercial with AI robots in there. So it was everything in between as well.
No kidding. So how do you interpret this influx into mainstream?
I mean, AI is everywhere. I think we're all aware of it. To what extent it varies. But for example, in the Anthropic commercial, they were trying to point out how OpenAI is now putting ads into their commercials. So I think it's raising the awareness. It's also making it a lot cheaper, a lot faster to produce these commercials with AI as well.
And while all of this is advancing, we also understand there's talk from the BBC publishing an article saying tech firms are embracing 72-hour work weeks. I can't even wrap my head around that. I'm already exhausted thinking about what that might look like.
Yeah, I think AI development is like the new arms race, where it's all out, go as fast as you possibly can right now. And in order for you to do that, you need the humans in the seat. So we've seen companies, our company, for example, where we have operations all around the world, so we're working pretty much 24 hours a day. But in the Bay Area in particular, I've seen companies with 70-hour mandatory work weeks. Yeah. I've seen companies offering $18,000, $20,000 bonuses if you live within 30 minutes of the office to reduce commute time.
And so, as you mentioned, we see a lot of this in tech, especially here in our own backyard, but how do you even function on 70-hour work weeks? I know we spoke a little bit off camera and you were saying some of it is very enjoyable where it doesn't, I guess, quite feel like work.
You know, coding has changed. I think coding very much is now almost like a game. In the past, it was very boxy, very programmatic. Yeah. And now with the invent of vibe coding, or basically natural language, you can just kind of iterate so quickly. Like I got up the other day at 3:30 to do some work coding, which I haven't done in maybe 20 years. And I did it because it was fun. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was so excited to get into it.
Yeah, and then you streamed us here at ABC7
of course,
as you were up at 3:30. Yes. All right, so Moltbook, I know that we talked a little bit about that. What is it for those of us who maybe aren't familiar?
Yeah, so there's this concept of agents, which we've talked about here before, and agents are digital workers. And they become much more easy to use. In particular, over the last month or so, there's a new technology that came out called Clawbot, and that's basically a kind of a way to create digital workers on your behalf. It's a little bit easier, but still not easy. Moltbook is basically their social media network, if you can imagine that. It's kind of like a Reddit for those digital agents.
Okay.
Humans can look into it, can see what they're talking about, but can't actually interject into the conversation.
Is there anything that concerns you about that?
You know, there's a lot. I think when it first came out, I think everyone was like, wow, can this really be true? And then I think more and more people began raising their hand and saying, well, I kind of influenced my agent in a way. So it's still very early days. To see what the potential could be, because I think that's what you see a lot of there, is pretty eye-opening though. These agents are now able to do a little bit more work and take some initiative than they ever could before. It can be a little bit scary, yes.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we know that Axios also has a new article about top AI experts leaving these major companies like Anthropic. How real is the threat for this to go very badly?
You know, so Anthropic and OpenAI recently announced, departures from top safety experts. They're leaving for different reasons. In the case of OpenAI, some of them are leaving because of the fact that they're moving into an ad model, where in the past you thought you were interacting with the chatbot in a private way, but now those private conversations could be used for ads. Some people are not so happy about that. In other cases, they're talking about how fast we're moving, and maybe a little bit too fast, moving so fast that we don't put the right safety or guardrails in place, and they're very concerned about that.
Okay, I know we just talked about concerns. I'm going to leave you with a last bit of optimism, if you want to give that, especially in the AI space.
I continue to just be so excited about what's going on with AI. I think it is bringing out more creativity, more opportunity than ever before. So I think now is the time. Now is the time to lean in. Now is the time to learn, because that will impact you, your careers, your families for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's happening. It's here. Darren, thank you always for your insight into the world of AI. We do appreciate all of your expertise.
My pleasure.